What's up, guys? Kevin Cage back with another XRP update. You know the corny intro. If you want daily crypto news, be sure to like and subscribe, and let's get right into it. Hopefully you enjoy this rant, all the news I'm about to cover, as well as my stuttering. First things first, I will be talking about ADA, VeChain, XLM, and Algorand, another personal favorite of mine, in this video because they have been having some very nice run-ups on the charts, as well as some additional news to keep an eye on. All right. So firstly, what I want to address is XRP, as we are almost nearing a 1 trillion, I almost said 100 trillion, a $1 trillion market cap. We're at about 982 billion. Very exciting. Bitcoin was over 36,000 as I saw earlier. And in my opinion, this is the most sadistic shakeout, the perfect shakeout for the XRP community. What better way to get people to sell their holdings than essentially entice them with assets that are going up hundreds of percent? I mean, ADA is just one example that's gone up 200% plus since its recent low, I think in September, at around like 7.5 cents. All of this is just designed to pull us from that. And for me, as you know, I mean, of course, I've made hundreds of videos the past couple years on XRP. I'm not married to XRP. I have my long-term holdings. I will not sell, and I have to emphasize this every video because people don't listen. And just so you know, I even escrowed some XRP a while back, locked it up, a very small amount for the record, that I can't even touch for several years, just to kind of work on the XRP toolkit, play with the functionality, and work on a little discipline, so to speak. But I hold a lot of assets, and yes, I would like to narrow it down from, the 20 or 30 that I hold, give or take, to maybe about 10, maybe even 5. But I'm happy with what I have. I'm always learning. I'm always keeping up with the developments in the space. And I swear, as they say, that adage, 1 month in the cryptocurrency market, the most volatile, most dangerous market in the world, is like 1 year in the stock market. Now, it's never-ending hype. It's never-ending FUD, regulations, new projects, new killers of other projects and competitors, developments, innovators, etc. And I know it's high stress, but I love it. And this environment is where I thrive because I tend to get bored, really bored in the stock market, because the average return in the stock market is 12.25%. And I mean, come on, I literally made that today and then some. And for example, here was one that I did the other day, and this is on Patreon. This was Sunday, and I was expecting it to take a while, but it literally happened within like 2 or 3 days, and then boom, 40% return. So again, patrons, hopefully you enjoy it. Of course, we're getting ready for the next one. Links are in the video description. So right here, guys, XRP just at about 25 cents. We did see a nice wick earlier, over 27 cents, almost to that 28 cent mark. We're on the 4-hour right here. I just removed the moving averages so my charts don't look like a painting to everybody. But overall, I mean, we could just draw a fib extension from the wick, swing high, swing low, and take a look. I mean, we're about a 50% retracement there at that 28 cent level. And then, I mean, we could go even higher just to kind of see some additional levels and targets. So, I mean, hypothetically, we could make it to the 786. That's over, anywhere from 41 cents to 55 cents would be great. Now, this alone would not turn me full on bullish yet, just because we know of the current situation with the SEC allegations. We have the goofball Tetragon, an early investor in the company Ripple, now, trying to take a lawsuit against them. And of course, we'll go over that in this video. We have, exchanges still delisting XRP, even though they were not forced to. In my mind, there's just something very, very up with this market. Now, hopefully you guys enjoyed the clips that I was sharing on Instagram as well with, David Schwartz, Brad Garlinghouse, just to show you some old information from years ago. Because when a newcomer comes to this market or a Bitcoin maximalist and they talk to me, they do not know all the information I have in my mind, in my arsenal, that I'm essentially, accounting for. And that's what I'm relating to when I see this news today. David Schwartz, we've been meeting with the SEC regularly almost every single week for the past 4 years. And he said this in 2019. And it's almost like he predicted it, so to speak. And that was my tinfoil hat. You guys can decide for yourselves. And believe what you wish, I will do the same. And I'm holding my XRP nonetheless. All right? So you guys, people can hate on anybody for referring back to years old news because it doesn't apply today. But when this information helps a new XRP holder make a more informed decision, it is all worth it to me. So please decide for yourselves, guys. And again, XRP will have its day in the sun. Do not call us lucky when it does. Also, wanted to point you towards this. So I did this video on December 3rd. This was actually done by Matthew in the XRP community. He is from Paris. This is the Interledger Protocol family. You can see XRP, XLM, IOTA, XDC, USDC of Circles, and Algorand. So many other assets. This was last updated in July, so it does need to be updated specifically because we know the consensus and quorum acquisitions, of course, that happened, I believe. Was that August, September area? You guys can Google it. We've covered it. circle now with even the new regulations and the OCC saying that financial institution, like they can literally operate nodes and use public and private blockchains as settlement mechanisms. Enter USDC, US dollar coin. This is absolutely crazy and exciting. This is basically validation of additional adoption for the space. And I'm not leaving this market right when it's getting interesting, right? So let me see what else I'm thinking here. Let's see. So again, if you guys want to save this picture, this is Matthew from Paris in the XRP community. Highly recommend it. And the INAPA founding members, and of course Ripple is one of them. And I have a video of that uploaded as well of Brad Garlinghouse announcing that. And we also have this. Before getting into the news, I wanted to show you a few things. So I just took screenshots so I didn't have to open up 4 charts. So we have XLM, and this is on the daily. Notice, we essentially went right to 2 for the retracement. We'll see if we can keep running. Honestly, the ball is in Bitcoin's court. I personally see nothing wrong with taking profits in this market. Of course, always leaving some, for life. That's the way I play it. I own all of these assets right here. And yeah, I will be taking profit accordingly, but I'm also leaving some on the table because I understand that they will blast their all-time highs in due time. So I wish it was months away, it may be years away, but regardless, I'm not going anywhere. But it's nice to see some price action as XRP is just sitting there. All right? And to be honest, XRP's had a nice bounce from 17 cents as well. So stay confident, it's still moving. And I just believe we're going to get out of this mess. Algo on the weekly, another asset I absolutely love. And this is on the weekly, way bigger time frame. Keep in mind, we're at about the 50% retracement level as of recording this video. So, absolute perfection right there. Thought that was interesting. And then kind of comparing VeChain alongside with ADA. We can see right here, so A, B, and point C, we're all the way at 1.618, or 1.618 extension, around 30 or 3 cents. 30 cents would be nuts, but definitely not impossible. And also we have ADA. So notice we blasted all the way through the 2 and around to the 4.23 extension of 41 cents. Now, will we get there? I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the chart a lot more. And trying to guess the top is, I'm not a wizard, so good luck with that. But overall, this is nonetheless exciting. So we'll see if any other assets follow suit in terms of these fib retracement levels. And just wanted to share that for all of you holders out there. You deserve every single minute of this. All right. So I wanted to take it back in my time machine back to April 29th, 2020. So keep in mind, we had one of the biggest crypto crashes, at least since, the 2017, 2018 bull run. And I wanted to go over this. And what I wanted to emphasize is this. Just remember, big news always comes out after market-wide crashes. For example, this came out right after the March 2020 crash. XRP was at 11 cents. People thought it was going to zero then. They said it's going to be called a security. Crypto's going to die. It's just a fad, blah, 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 blah. And then they all come back when XRP is 92 cents, time and time again. It's just how it happens. Same concept when XRP was half a penny. So please relax, guys. This is just part of the course. We have to get through this. It's a bumpy road. It's not just smooth sailing. Nothing goes up, up, and up forever in a speculative market. Wait until utility can drive the market. This may very well be what we've been waiting for in order to finally get clarity in the United States. And the XRP is not going to wait. So the US is either going to give clarity or not. And this type of uncertainty is exactly what gives them their advantage because it creates fear in the marketplace. All right, so R3, the Wall Street boys, the Lehman Brothers. Just remember, even Sandy O'Connor joins Ripple, and she's, 30 years of experience, so tight with Wall Street. We had an ex-Bank of America a regulatory official or policy making just joined the team. You guys got to be kidding me if you really think that Ripple, the company, is going to disappear and XRP is not going to be used. That's a joke, and time will tell. And I believe there's going to be so much more FUD ahead, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, in negative news that scares the everyday Joe out. And I will tell you right now, I'm not going anywhere, and that is my personal choice. All right? So we had R3 and NASDAQ in this partnership essentially just confirming digital assets, crypto assets, as Brian Brooks says at the OCC. He says, crypto and blockchain are one and the same. You can't have one without the other. So it's not like, banks are going to adopt blockchain. No, they will be connected to these permissionless networks as well. Do not be fooled. This is their ploy. This is their advantage to try to keep people out. And when they're in the market, they're literally going to sell to everyday people at a premium. This happens every single time. Just watch what happened in the .com bubble. The rich will get richer and manipulate the poor. They control the media. They control what? I'll have to look up the percentage again, but 90% are the top 5 media outlets in the world. You really don't think that's how the game is played? You cannot be that naive and read every piece of news at face value, right? So, confirming distributed ledger tech. is and will play an integral role in the future. There's no doubt in my mind. I don't know why I just started saying integral. All right. So right here, April 29th, NASDAQ, the architect and provider of the world's most widely adopted market infrastructure, technology, and services, has entered into a long-term, non-exclusive collaboration agreement with enterprise software firm R3. Remember, SBI is a shareholder of R3 and Ripple. I believe that they may very well work together. And I know they've had their, differences, their lawsuits, there's NDAs between these groups. But R3 is the big money. Ripple is just the remittance money in my eyes for now, before Ripple then becomes the Amazon of payments. Corda, again, agnostic, can settle via XRP alongside many other assets, such as, of course, XTC, which we just showed in this little diagram. XTC, we have XinFin, we have Corda right here, ISO 222. Remember, Ripple is one of the only DLT-centric groups to join the governing body for the ISO family, or the ISO standards body. This is not coincidental, this is just a giant game of chess, and those that have ears will listen. Those that don't, and act out of emotion, will sell and leave and buy XRP back when it's higher. That's just how the game's played. All right? So again, 24/7, 365 basis. When I'm reading this about NASDAQ, I'm also considering what we've read and done videos on in the past of Bank of America's integrations with Integromat, also considering Bitstamp, which was an early, Ripple gateway back then, and it might not apply now, but I'm just showing you some additional connections to digital asset exchanges. All right? NASDAQ right here, a long-established innovator in its use of blockchain technology, private ledgers, and digital assets, and a major provider of mission-critical market infrastructure solutions across the trade lifecycle to 120-plus marketplaces, clearinghouses, central securities depositories, CSDs, and regulators, including several digital asset exchanges. This is the absolute future. I encourage all of you to look into this deep, much more deeper, whatever, and there's just so much more information, and this barely scratches the surface. All right? Also, Anderzel. So remember, when XRP was cleared as one of the very few cryptos to be held by United States banks, but was not allowed to be used yet for its intended purpose along with Ethereum Classic. And I do remember that, and it was quite funny. And now this guy made me laugh. XRP, Evo. Remember when the DOJ and FinCEN settled a case deeming XRP a virtual currency and Ripple a money transmitter of XRP? Yes, I do. And again, all the world is a stage. I'm going to refresh this and just take a quick peek. See what we're doing. XRP, all right, Bitcoin, same stuff. Now, just to talk about this, so Tetragon, as you guys know, they are suing the company Ripple right when they're already down, when they're getting hit, the XRP community is getting hit. Tetragon is a UK-based fintech as well, and I believe they have billions assets under management. Let me check really quick. So they did lead the $200 million funding round in December 2019. They are, UK-based, and now they're kind of, essentially pressing their advantage, or so to speak, trying to. So they're saying right here, enforcing its contractual right to require Ripple to redeem Series C preferred stock. Ridiculous. So Tetragon wants the court to essentially freeze Ripple's illiquid assets until it pays. Now, Ripple rejected the lawsuit Tuesday. In a legal filing shared with CoinDesk, and we'll go over and show the response, said Tetragon can only opt to flip its Ripple equity back to cash if, and only if, XRP is deemed to be a security on a go-forward basis. That is the key word, a go-forward basis. It didn't have security-like practices or was sold as a security and unregistered security years ago, just like, EOS getting paid, the fees or fines. What did they pay? Couple million, couple hundred million, slap on the wrist, and they're back at it. Do you guys know how many hundreds of millions, if not billions, that I showed recently, like maybe last week, banks are fined on a regular basis, and they are still profitable every time? This is why I'm not fazed by this. The everyday pleb, so to speak, gets afraid by this and they sell their XRP. I'm not going anywhere. I don't care if you hold or sell, but I'm going to put this information out. All right? And you guys decide for yourselves. So keep an eye on this. And of course, if you guys want to read Ripple's response, shared by XRP Twin, you guys can screenshot this. Same stuff. They're essentially just like Crypto Penny says, they have to be very careful with what they say right now. Not surprised by all, at all by, the briefness of this. So keep that in mind. All right? Overall, just disappointed. Ripple's just getting attacked from every single corner. And yes, I'm not concerned. Next, I did see Crypto Whale sharing this. So the UK's ban on crypto derivatives, as we've talked about derivatives, again, deriving value from another asset such as a crypto commodity, stock, etc., is to go into effect today, January 6th, 2021. And essentially, this will have a lot of ramifications. I'm pretty curious, but this was announced by the FCA. Guys, The Financial Conduct Authority out of the UK already declared XRP not a security, just like Japan's FSA, just like many other countries. So pay attention to this. Interesting that they're coming at them to this degree. And I wanted to read you a quote from this partner at EdenBlock. A European VC firm focused on blockchain tech said, "The ban is an indication that the FCA does not know how to regulate the space." And here's a quote: "It's a shame the only players that actually are regulated or want to be to offer crypto derivative products to retailers or retail users just like us, our coin shares, crypto facilities, etc., are generally good actors. The move will drive retail users to unregulated platforms instead, like BitMEX." I completely agree. Just like the SEC, you really think they're here to protect you and me? Do you know how much damage they've caused just with this lawsuit and this crash? It's a joke to me if you guys think that. They're looking to line their own pockets, or this was planned long ago. I'm putting on my tinfoil hat. It's either just as bad as it is, or there's something much bigger going on behind the scenes. I'm not going to pretend to know exactly what's going on. All I'm saying is I am riding this storm out. So BitMEX, which is just an example, who will offer even less protection than the regulated players. So it's not clear how the average retail user wins in this scenario. Exactly. And that's why I'm so frustrated in this space. It's ridiculous. All right. This is an old thing by Deloitte, just talking about obviously tokenization, asset fractionalization, the benefits, what we've been preaching for a couple of years now, unlocking trillions of dollars of illiquid assets, allowing bridges so money can flow. Remember, we want liquidity. And what happens? Well, money flows. It's just essentially getting rid of all these dams, these barriers, these walled gardens, just like in that 30-second clip I uploaded on JP Morgan and Brad Garlinghouse. JPM coin, utility settlement coin, Bank of America coin, any of these assets, Libra, they have counterparty risk. There's IOUs. Some aren't even actually DLT or blockchain. They masquerade as that tech. It is not a threat to XRP, and I will keep screaming it from the rooftops. All right? So again, unlocking the trillions of dollars of liquid assets, well, everything's going to be tokenized, just like the 700 trillion derivatives market, which is a behemoth. And yes, on the high-end, analysts say that it is over 1.2 quadrillion. It's just a rather intangible estimate for these types of valuations, because derivatives could be, options, swaps, futures, you name it, and derive its value from another product. Or it does. And also Avalanche, AVAX is the crypto, remember Avalanche Consensus, with essentially Flare helping the XRP ledger do smart contracts as well, is a very interesting project. And if you guys watch even the YouTube video on the intro, it's already a top 65 project. Absolutely nuts. Up 8% on the day, and it's available on Binance. So not Binance US, unfortunately. But again, these are the assets I'm watching very, very closely. And if you guys know how many trillions of dollars are in this market, is it that unrealistic to get a sliver of that? Next, we got Lord Elmo Rothschild. Gotta love these names. XRP removed from Grayscale. So XRP's been removed from Grayscale, as you guys saw, and then minutes later, they hire someone from Ripple that was there for a year. You can see Mr. Benjamin, and he was formerly, so now he's Chief Compliance Officer at Grayscale, and he's formerly at Ripple for a year as the America's Head of Regulatory Affairs Regulatory Council. Now, Grayscale is a subsidiary of a big investor that invested in the Ripple early on, Digital Currency Group. You may have heard of them. So just interesting watching this. And there's nothing wrong with employees, leaving. We have employees come to Ripple every single day. Like that one Goldman Sachs exec that is working on, is he based in the UK? I'm trying to think, regarded, like the foreign exchange market as well. These people are just so powerful. I don't really get anybody that's giving up on XRP entirely. There's no issue with de-risking, but you do you, I'll do me. Right here, the International Monetary Fund, and again, Tim, thank you for tagging me in this. The currencies central banks hold as foreign exchange reserves being the key word. Why do they need reserves? Obviously, we know, and have remained largely steady over the decades. But geopolitical shifts, technological revolutions, i.e. DLT blockchain, and the fallouts from COVID could accelerate transformations in their reserve holdings. Guys, the IMF, the World Economic Forum, calling it the Great Reset. It's much more than just a financial revolution. There's things happening all over. And yes, unfortunately, it may get a lot worse before it gets better. All right? Next, Jamie XRP sharing this. So Michelle Bond, we talked about her yesterday. Remember her leaving Ripple, becoming CEO at ADAM as well, Association for the Digital Asset Markets. And I'm just going to read his tweet here. So, who's formerly held positions at both the SEC and Ripple. Interesting. We can see right here, senior counsel at the SEC for 2 years. All right. And we also know that the SEC, one of the people there, ran a validator on the XRP ledger. It's just a joke. I just feel bad for the newcomer investors that are capitulating their holdings, because I think that we're gonna get out of this mess. And that is just my opinion, not financial advice. All right. And then congratulates her friend Ben, who just moved from Ripple to Grayscale, as we showed. And everyone, it's all connected. We will simply see. It's always interesting to see this, the networks involved. Of course, we've gone through Adam and their team. We've gone through, the Blockchain Association yesterday, just giving you a taste of what's to come. All right. Next, I wanted to redo this poll because I know I did it maybe, I don't know, in the summertime or in fall. And I just said, will XLM pass XRP in value? Almost 44% people said no. Once again, the majority are incorrect, and XLM has passed XRP in this valuation. I do believe it's absolutely temporary. I hold both. I love both assets. I'm not intimidated by one going higher than the other. XLM is at 32 cents. XRP is pushing to 25 cents. Nice to see. All right, let's keep the fun going. And I hope Bitcoin personally just keeps going for now before this tether bubble pops, because I want these alts to keep running. All right, where were we? We're almost done, guys. Right here, an astonishing $2 billion is now staked in Ethereum 2.0. We'll keep an eye on this. You guys can see the analytics as well. Highly recommend looking into that. Leading the pack, though, are Polkadot, DOT, Cardano, ADA, and Synthetix. And Synthetix, I believe, it's also available on Coinbase. Not that I'm recommending Coinbase as, your set exchange due to the fees and, always going down when you need it. But Synthetix is an interesting project. I've owned it before. I probably should get back into it eventually. I'll look for a better target, hopefully, when I take a look at it. But they do have some interesting connections to Tesla as well. So a lot of people, at least that I talk to, have slept on it. I mean, who am I talking? Even I slept on it to a certain degree. But nonetheless, exciting to watch all of this. All right. Right here, just briefly, so One River makes one of the largest cryptocurrency trades in history. I don't know if this is just clickbait, because they don't really give me any information here. I'm not sure if additional information came out, so take this with a grain of salt. But essentially, Coinbase carried out this transaction for them, and they quote, one of the largest digital asset trades in history. The initial trade was executed over a 5-day period at different speeds in order to work through varying market conditions, the exchange explained. So, yep, I'm guessing they, got it in around these levels, and then boom, market pushes up higher. So at the end of the day, these people are making money. All right. Also, in other news, just like Venezuela, we have Colombian financial watchdog says local firms can use capital to buy Bitcoin. Right here, the Superintendency of Corporations in Colombia has explained in an official note that the companies in the country are legally allowed to buy cryptos, specifically Bitcoin, to inject capital as long as they abide by local regulations. And then right here, and this is actually in the publication, I believe it was translated, obviously. And however, in the context of mining activity, insofar as they are received in exchange for services and or commissions, they correspond to income, and in any case to goods that can be valued and generate income for those who obtain them as from be part of your patrimony and take effect in tax matters. All right. Also, Algorand, guys, they are just tweeting this regarding the OCC news. Federally chartered banks and thrifts may participate in independent node verification networks and use stable coins for payment activities. Guys, this is crypto, and yes, I know, Kevin, it's a stable coin. It's issued on trust and all this, and there's still an issue. Yes, I get that, but this is a step forward in the right direction, in my opinion. Yes, we still have a long way to go, but I like this adoption that we're seeing. Algorand, as we know, even XLM has some obvious ties to USDC, and they're excited to see the US OCC's, the acting comptroller of the currency, forward-looking guidance starting that US banks may use technologies like ours as well as related stablecoins. Guys, I'm not trying to shill algo. I'm not telling you to buy it now. I'm personally not buying it right now because I hold some. I'd like to wait and we'll see. But overall, very deep MIT ties. Of course, MIT runs a validator on the XRP ledger. They have the Algorand Foundation and, of course, the CEO Silvio Micali, which is the founder of Zero Knowledge Proofs, essentially just a math magician. And I highly recommend looking into some of the things that they have working. It is not just, a basic borderless economy. They are not full of hype. They are actually building something very, very important. I've been holding them for quite some time, since essentially they were listed on Binance US in, I think, 2019. So please check them out. Do your own research. I do have a video. I think I have 2 videos on Algorand going over a bunch of things that they're working on. and look into this. Remember, while you're waiting for XRP, while you're waiting for other assets to pump, sharpen your sword, level up your knowledge in this asset class so you can make better, financially sound decisions for yourself. All right. Also, XRP Euphoria, Grayscale still holds nearly 39 million XRP. We can see here, we're just going to refresh this for you guys. We can see right there, 38 million XRP. If my computer likes to cooperate, I have a lot of tabs open right now. And we can see just their holdings. I personally don't get the value add of Ethereum Classic, but I won't try to disrespect a project in front of you guys. But overall, you know, XRP 38 million right there. So that's about almost $9 million worth. And then per share, you can get all this information. So nonetheless, very exciting. Keep an eye on that. And of course, we have the bad news too. This fund, Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund LLC, removed XRP and used its cash proceedings to purchase the remaining assets: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. I get Ethereum. The only reason I kind of like Bitcoin Cash is because Roger Ver seems like a really awesome dude. I don't care for holding Bitcoin, and Litecoin, come on, no, thank you. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.